My friends, those that are looking at our website, the ACIO official website. This is the official ACIO resource sanctioned by Peter the Insider in the ACIO 12th Division. This information is copywritten, trademarked from 2022, ACIO official, and so we have privacy, we have content here, all of this content that we have here regarding our associates, our team, our database of content, worldwide military corporations. All of this is unique content of Peter the Insider, and anyone that is referring to this content must cite the location of where they received it, and also to keep things in its proper context instead of trying to reinvent our content, which by copyright and trademark, no one has permission to do so. So we're noticing that people are, have not been, not everyone's interested in our content, but as of late, people have been so interested, they have been literally reading our content and not citing that it came from us, but citing that it came from themselves. And so this is not obviously very professional. Anyone that does anything like that is not professional. And obviously, or meaning to mislead or deceive the public in any way, it's not a correct thing to do. And because eventually people figure out that you're trying to take credit for someone else's information. Now, it's not even my personal information. This is information that's coming directly from the ACIO through Peter the Insider. And we have pages of content specific to Peter's knowledge. All of this data came from the databases of Peter's information. So let's we appreciate to be respectful, to be honest, to have integrity, and to not misuse our content. There are those that think they're going to disclose us, and yeah, well, there are still laws that you cannot just misuse information. Notice that we have corporations with a positive influence on humanity and corporations with a negative influence on humanity. And here we are stating that we're not promoting these corporations. We are sharing information that people would not otherwise have access to. And so, as I said, we are expecting people to be professional, have integrity, be honest. Unfortunately, not everyone has content. They're trying to jump into disclosure and using other people's content to validate some of their work. Just like if you're writing a news article or doing anything, it's called plagiarism, and it's not appropriate behavior by any means. And if anything, it's going to make people question whether or not you are a legitimate reporter, person of disclosure, anyone that is trying to bring forward information. Slandering people is not professional. And of course, people are going to make their own decisions, but we're just asking people to respect our content, not take claim for the information that is coming from a specific source. Peter is very busy. He's a very busy person, but I am working directly with him, have been since 2017, and would request that if people are going to cite it, that they do not distort the information. If they're going to read from it, that they would cite that this is where it's coming from. And that, as I respect everyone else's opinions and their views, then I'm asking that in return on the behalf of the ACIO and the multiple divisions of the ACIO. We are asking that people maintain a level of professionalism and respect. So thank you. This is our website. Keep in mind this is copyright and trademarked information. And anyone ever has any questions about it, they can always contact us. Here's our contact information. And that's it. So have a good day.
Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. We have an update from Peter the Insider, who has been away for quite a few weeks, and we want to catch up with what's going on. I mean, there's been an awful lot going on, and well, I guess a lot of it's newsworthy, particularly because so many changes have happened in the world, and we want to talk about the impact and how it's affecting our present reality. So Peter, we can get started and welcome you in and talk about what's going on.
So thank you very much. I want to say hello to you and to all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners. So we were discussing, or we was discussing about the wallpaper, and I will say that why I was insisting that, because that was it. Literally, the world, or the context of existence, I don't know how can I call it, on the surface, it was really, how can I say it, like obsolete, like steampunk era-ish,
like
or
this?
maybe, yeah, literally like that, in certain parts of world, like steampunk era-ish, so I don't know, 1880s, 1890s, and I don't know, in other parts of the world, 1930s, 40s, whatever, something like it, and whatever. So it was weird, and I was asking the survivors, like, okay, what in the world happened here? And then, of course, there were, literally, I'm calling them matrices. Matrices, that means what in the world? Because you open the door, literally, like in the movie, and it was, I don't know, like a portal or whatever, and you was like in the, I don't know, like 50s, 60s or whatever. But I mean, the main thing, I mean, the context or everything, almost like I don't know, 80-90% of everything, overall stuff, surroundings, was like that, and something was like super hype stuff. It's like, what in the world? And that was it. But because it was, we need to say, or let's say we need to start from beginning,
Right.
or with beginning.
Right.
We wasn't just like that in this I mean, not in this, because
You went
now
into
I'm
another
talking.
reality. You went into
Yes,
another
because
reality.
now I'm talking to you, or as we are recording this from our reality, but in their reality, it wasn't just like that. We was supposed to make a very specific mission, highly classified mission, and then they quotes in quotes forgot to inform us that there is a very powerful core, stabilizing core, and I mean stabilizing reality reactor, and I was like, oh, guys, that's not good, and they don't know, and I was like, no, I am not into physics, I am not into chemistry, but I know. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, if you don't know the language, but according you can differ. Okay, that's I don't know Spanish, that's French, and I was like, okay, I know this shape, I know this device. It was huge, and okay, what the heck, you are saying some nonsenses, because it wasn't there wasn't, or there weren't no Latin writings, only, I mean, Azbuka, that means Russian only, and Chinese only. And this was in our reality. I don't want to say where it was.
That's where the portal was, where you went into this other reality?
Give me a second. That was when all the problems started.
Okay. So you traveled, but it started in that region of between China and like a USSR, Soviet area.
Former, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right. And I was like, holy crap, that's not good. This is not gonna end. This is not gonna end well. Yeah.
What time period is this? So it's like you said you ended up in the 50s, but you jumped,
not 50s, not 50s. I'm saying we didn't know that. Okay, we didn't know that. That's the problem.
You didn't know what timeline you'd be going into?
No, please. It was like we supposed to do certain stuff in certain state, certain country,
Right.
and that's the problem. And I am not saying, because I need to be very fair. I mean, total fair. Okay,
Right.
it's I will not watch on my language. Same shit, different region, different part of the world, and it happened really often, and it was cooperation or collaboration, if you want to call it that way, because that means West plus East, because the situation is like that's not good, and the situation went to creepy crap, and I was like, holy crap, what the heck should we do now? And when the whole device, because they we went to the region, and the region wasn't stable, and that was it. It's
Your
or
jump
it was
point, the point that you were jumping into wasn't stable, or the
I mean,
place
I'm
that
talking
you're jumping
about
from.
no, I'm talking about in our reality.
Here,
The
yeah. So
reason,
why is there
wasn't
not?
stable.
Okay.
The reason wasn't stable, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad." You know what I mean?
Why wasn't it stable, Peter? Did something happen there in our reality right now?
And that's the problem. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem. They didn't said to us that it's unstable. The part of the mission was, do you know what I mean? Like certain people kept as hostages. We need to rescue them and all kind of those stuff. Fine, not a big deal. I mean, big deal, of course, because because they've got a small army or whatever. But of course, not small, but from our point of view, small. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But screw it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was it. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is not gonna end well. And
did you travel with that army?
No, that's the problem. We went to this state, as you very clever mentioned, former Soviet Union member state,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought they lied. They literally brain fudged us, literally. I need to say this, and I was like, what the heck is that? It's like, because we know certain routes, I mean, you know, plane routes, and I was like, I mean, airplane routes. It's what in the world? I mean, I know that's this country is huge, but I can say maybe then some people will know that it's largest country in the world with no sea.
Okay.
So, you know, it's one of the largest countries and largest country with no sea. And I was like, what in the world? This is not gonna end well. But I was like, okay, because you know, once we as a unit, by the way, 374, once we realized that what's going on, it's like, this is already way too late. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah. So
and
is it Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan that you're referring to?
Yeah, you said it.
Okay.
No,
and,
sure.
And Unit 374 is a new team that Lincoln Clay put together. Is that correct?
Yeah. You said it's Kazakhstan, so no sea. I mean, no sea.
Landlocked. Yeah.
What?
It's called landlocked. That's the word.
Yeah. So they don't have any shore, like no shore. Yeah. And the stuff is, and we were like, oh no, because we it was like, you know, in my region when I'm originally from, they were fairy tales with like when water when water was scattered, right?
Yeah.
And
like a flood.
yeah, and sand w- and sand will flood, and that was it. It was literally so crazy. Everything was that unstable. Everything was insane, and you know, I don't know, like the gravitation was. It went to big ass shit, and
Right.
in
Yeah.
this region, it's part of, and it's huge country, and I was like,
But that's
okay.
not here now. That is over there in this other reality, right? You said.
Okay, a second. That was the reason why wormhole, even why they quotes in quotes invited the wormhole, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they tried to do such some experiments, but they overloaded the reactor. And no, it isn't, I don't know, like a reactor or like radioactivity, I mean like plutonium, uranium, or whatever. No, but that's even far more complexity problem.
Would you say it was an accident, or possibly they didn't want you taking the trip?
No, it definitely isn't accident. Or wasn't accident. They want to do something, but it's like child, but child under, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, and you give this child a matches. Try to guess what will happen, and because at least we know what matches can do. I mean, what causes can be, but I don't want to say they don't know, but there was, or they are still, there are, you know, huge dark places. That means there are only tiny lines. There are, how can I say it? There are lights, So I mean, like light paths. That means, okay, this reactor can do this. This, I don't know, like patterns can cause, or whatever effects can be that, But they simply start to make literally, like, you have some sort of control panel of huge complex stuff, and anything, and you start, do you know what I mean, to hit the
Mm-hmm.
buttons like insane, like erratic behavior, whatever. And that's the stuff, that's it, what I mentioned multiple times, that eastern countries, like, you know Russia, China, that they've got, much more experienced or advanced technologies in certain fields, in certain parts, but they don't have, they don't, how can I say it, they don't think through it. I mean, like, they don't care if something will happen. I mean, something bad, of course, or whatever. They don't care about consequences or whatever. They just need to try it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So essentially, they experimented on a trip that you were supposed to take. That was
No,
necessary.
please, no. It was vice versa. They experimented if they will create stable um, bridge or portal. They call it bridge. Some of them, some of those scientists they try to call it bridge, portal, whatever.
Yeah.
But once this experiment ended up with disaster and huge area was or started or become unstable or unstable, like everything, like, you know, laws, basic laws of physics, chemics, I mean chemistry, biology, everything was mixed up. It doesn't make sense. And then, and of course, very weird, I don't want to call them animals, but monsters or whatever start to appear. And of course, people, I don't want to say people, but people from, and that's the problem, from the past, but it was the problem because of time jumps slash time traveling from past or from future or whatever, and they were like, what the heck we did, and they don't know what what I mean, what they should do. And then we as 374 unit 374, and then with Russian special, not only Russian unit, but simply unit from cooperation, Russia, China, India, I think it was. And we went there, and do you know what? In their reality, that was wild. That was crazy.
Now, are they human, or is this a parallel of our reality, or what is this?
SUVs, SUVs, and that's people like, now you are talking about cars. No, they called themselves SUVs, like survivors. It's
survivors from like an apocalypse, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. But give me a second. This is very hard to define, because some of them, I mean, let's say it's very wide, super wide spectrum. Some of them were almost, let's say 97, 8, maybe 99% similar to us, but another of them were like this, like what it was, interview, or I don't know, like interrogation of an alien, and it was like in 1961, 2 or 1963 or whatever, and it was like typical, quotes in quotes, typical-ish gray, so that means small, I mean small, short, I don't know, it's like 4-ish feet, big in comparison with rest of the body, big head, huge eyes, small corpse, 2 legs, two hands, and he was talking, at least we supposed to think it was him, that it was like post-apocalyptic mutants of people. Do you know what I mean? So that was it. That it was that kind of wide variation of spectrum.
Of different types of beings there.
Yeah. But give me a second. Different parts, or types of beings, they themselves was or were, my bad, sorry, identified as humans. But that's the, I don't want to say problem, that's the stuff, because we was talking, or we made video, or maybe series of videos about game series Metro, right?
Right.
And this reality we was in was like, yeah, Metro 2023, then it was Metro.
This is 213. Nuclear
Give me a
war
second.
devastated the Earth.
Metro Exodus, and it was, I don't know. It was Metro Exodus, and
Let's see if I can find. There was a sequels. Last Refuge. Metro.
no, I mean there was
The different games.
Metro Exodus. I mean.
There was a Last Light.
Yeah, Metro Last Light, then Metro Exodus. Yeah,
Metro Exodus.
sorry
Okay.
for that. So,
Yep.
so that's it. So those three games, Metro 2023, Metro Exodus, and Metro Last Light. That's it. And depending or according, how deep, because the main part of this revelation is that safe to be, I mean, or how can I say it, safe to stay, it was underground, and mostly it was like 1/4 mile, or maybe slightly more down deep, so it was like 400 or 450 or 500 meters down below. It's pretty, it was pretty solid to be down there, but this is it, and even more deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And according how deep we was, and the part of the world we were, or we was, the thing is that it was in between 60-65 to maybe 80-85% of being quotes in quotes metro-ish, and then rest of the metro-ish reality, and then it was another realities. Yeah.
I noticed that they have it in Russian, Polish, Ukrainian, German, French, Spanish, Chinese.
Yeah.
So all of these. So Metro was originally from that. It was a bleed through reality from that region, whether it's Kazakhstan or.
This is it.
So because you went through that, you jumped into is it a parallel that you went to from that region?
And that's the question. I don't know.
But don't know exactly where you went, but it was just like this metro reality, like the bleed through was coming in.
Mostly we believe it was former Soviet Union, but once again down deep, and that's
you had to go down deep because the upper atmosphere. Explain what was in the upper atmosphere. You said there were EMPs, which.
Give me a second. You've got all kind of wide variety, all kind of wide variety conditions that make people pretty much impossible to live. Either radioactive contamination, so fallout, or biological, or chemical, or biochemical contamination, or electromagnetic or electric or magnetic or electromagnetic symbols, you know, like fields that literally will fry your brain, your body. It was, Jesus, that was crazy.
So you have that, plus there was nuclear fallout.
No, give me a second. I'm saying when there wasn't nuclear fallout, then you got, for example, EMP when not this, then biochemical when not biochemical, then biological when not biological, then whatever. It was mixed. Whatever. It was crazy.
So then anyone that was surviving was deep underground.
Yeah.
What happens when people
must be
when people went up above ground? You said that they were not, they couldn't think clearly, so they, even if they were part of the good team, they became affected.
Yeah. So pretty much we used these specific scavengers. It was very weird, but they wasn't, you know, very weird because they wasn't. They don't have volume, you know. I mean, they don't have huge size in the first place, and they wasn't heavy in the second place. Very weird. And once we want to travel in long distances or on long distances, we used airplanes only, because that doesn't worth to travel, you know, via cars or whatever. And they made certain, I don't know what it was, some sort of shield. It was so weird. Yeah. It's so weird.
So, but you said that they're the ones that were above ground. The EMP does something really crazy to the mind, you told me. And it just...
It was pretty much something like a Philadelphia experiment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so,
because pretty much, yes, you can go on surface, but you know, you will be dead, or you know, insane, or
insane,
know.
Yeah, and you know, due to the chemical, biological, and also so radiation, radioactive. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that would interfere with survival. And you said that instead of exchanging money, food was a type of currency.
Food, yeah, food or craft, you know, instruments, like as you can see, like how to improve rifles or whatever, because, and that was the stuff in the game. That was the stuff, like a human's weakness that we steal for each other or whatever. I mean, not we, but it was displayed.
Survival?
Yes, it was displayed in the game. That people killed each other or whatever, but no, in their reality, only this need to be edited.
In this reality that you went to, they weren't stealing from each other. They were helping each other.
They helped each other, and if they kill something, it definitely wasn't people. Even the you know, the mutated people, like the, I don't know, those people, they were from another realities, and they were normal, they were kind and helpful, and only those monsters, you know, so the craft tools, the ammo, I mean ammunition, you know, and all kind of that stuff. So that was the quote unquote currency. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, and you said something too, which was interesting, is that there wasn't any prejudice against any group of people, or of any people worked harmonious together because they were trying to help each other in survival, contrary to what you see in the some of the apocalyptic scenarios where everyone is just out for themselves, or so many are contaminated.
Yes, that's it. What I was getting at as a main difference in between all the games, right? Because, you know, they were stealing and doing whatever, right? And that's it. I'm just saying, you know. And
so, were you trapped there? Were you trapped there? Do you have trouble coming back? Because you were there for weeks and weeks, and people were trying to get in touch with you, and you were able to talk a little. You did communicate with us every now and then, but you weren't able to talk for very long, and it felt like you were under a lot of stress.
Not stress, but we've got a lot of stuff to deal with.
Right.
Yeah. So it wasn't like, I don't want or whatever, but you know, we need to keep the positions, you know, to keep the vantage points or whatever, you know. It wasn't just that easy.
Here in Metro 2033, you have this guy by the name of Dimitri.
Yeah.
And then you have allies Khan, Rangers, and who again defend D6, including there's the Fourth Reich, communists, and bandits.
But so, this is it, give me a second, that in this case scenario, they were like, you know, like groups, they compete against each other and whatever. Nah, in their reality, it wasn't like that. They were, one, two,
unified?
three. They were unified together and help each other. And even though those very like crazy mutated, because they really get it. Like, despite they look very weird, but they still were people. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
This had nothing to do with, oh, this is the East against the West, or this is...
Yeah, definitely.
No, it was just literally survival, and nobody was fighting each other.
No.
U.S. against Russia, or the Ukraine against Russia, or you know what I mean, or you know, China, or anything like that. This is just everyone. Do you know? Did they tell you who caused this war? And
give me a second. AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, I'm not surprised. All right, so where did that AI come from?
That was the stuff. That was the stuff, and I will say it, and maybe we will be tagged or whatever, but and it isn't. I mean, U.S. or United States is not a country to be blamed, because this is private person, you know. Elon Musk, that was the creator, and I'm not kidding you, okay?
So he creates an AI that becomes what? Self-realized,
self-aware.
self-aware.
Yeah.
But he doesn't intend to do this.
No. Give me a second. I am talking about their reality.
Yes.
What cause all the, I don't know, like doomsday or whatever, if you want to call it that way.
Right. I mean, here, just
Sorry,
recently.
I should laugh, but it is desperate laugh because that's the stuff like, nah, US to be blamed. But it's because he was born in SAR, that means like South African Republic,
Yeah.
And it's just US, it's just the country he decided to make his business in. So that's the stuff. But do you know what?
Can I say something, Peter? Just 1 second. I just want to say for the public or for people listening, I believe that Elon Musk is trying to create things. He's trying to be cutting edge. He's trying to be the first one to do things. He adapted the name of Tesla, but these things, as bright and smart as some of these people are, I don't think they would ever try to destroy the planet with the technologies that they're creating. I think they don't realize or foresee the capacity of how something like this can get out of control. That's my opinion. How do you feel about that?
Give me a second. But I will say you why they were so pissed. I mean, and I will not watch my language. Why they were unified, all of them, and why they were so pissed. Because he, once all of this madness started, right? Already before, my bad, before it started, because Elon knew already that he flew to Mars. So that's it.
He flew to Mars, and what happened? Did he die, and then this thing sort of took over?
I'm saying that he made colony on Mars, okay?
Right, which he talks about doing anyhow, but in that reality, this plays out ahead of us. And
yes, yes, but I am saying in their reality, they created some sort of, like, how can I say it, private district for super rich people, blah blah blah, all kind of those nonsenses, all kind of those blahs, and I will not watch my language, literally not. And jeez.
So we have in here they're mentioning companies like Google, Facebook train computers to recognize objects in photographs. It's the AI, the supercomputers that are integrating all social medias.
A second, please. A second. They are not mentioning Tesla cars. They are not mentioning, SpaceX or whatever, because they know that they've got already this kind of level of AI. It can become self-aware, okay?
All right, sorry, Peter.
They can't mention it because it will be like Deadwish, okay?
All right, so this scientist recently, June 13th, 2022, he said that AI has become self-aware, and he got fired. This is the man right here. Do you know who this man is?
Yeah, but
Lemoyne? Do you know him personally at all, or?
Personally not, but that's the problem. Like, once you say something, you know what I mean?
He got fired, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, if I didn't know exactly what it was, which is this computer program was built recently. I think it was 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid that happens to know physics. So in, let's see if, anyhow, Google management disagrees. It says there is no evidence of sentient, a lot of evidence against it. So Google doesn't want to scare the hell out of everyone, saying that their computer has actually, become self-aware and is integrating everyone, because the entire world is operating through Google.
That's the problem. Yeah.
And so he went under serious scrutiny. I can see if there's another article regarding. Here's another one. Nope, that's the same one.
Yeah, but look, please, okay? I will say another, or I will give you another very good example. In Japan, it's, I don't want to say it's normal, but quotes in quotes normal, that people, no matter if we are talking about gender, like women are marrying men, and men are marrying not women but robots, I mean androids, and they are made like that you are not able to differ them. I don't know those how can I say, those materials or whatever, it's like a skin or whatever. It's not like a robot. Do you know what I mean? No, everything, the eyeballs or the nails, or I don't know, the hair, everything. And I was like, what in the world?
You cannot tell at all that they're not human.
Yeah, they are saying it or talking about it publicly, abroad. That means like outside the Japan. But I will say you something, and people will be shocked. I saw something, or literally, let's say, I've got certain encounter with such quotes and quotes people, like, I don't want to say because I'm not yeah, it was like 1 or 2 years before Crisis. So Crisis started 2K7, 2K8, 2K8, so it was like 2005, 2006, and in this year, and I was like, what in the world? And it was woman, and I wasn't able to differ. What in the world is that? It's, I don't know.
I mean, this is just what's online. They're not going to really show
everything
that they're doing. But I mean, even these ones look pretty realistic. I mean, look at this. It's sort of, can look like they're fairly real. Some of them don't look. That's supposed to be an Android.
Yes, this is an Android. It is not like this is supposed to be. It is an Android.
That's what it says right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So looks real to me.
Yeah. So no, it's crazy. You can't see. You can't see the difference.
I wanted to show you that this article that I just had.
Sorry. Okay.
Wasn't this one? Maybe it was back here. Let's see if it comes up. No, there was another article that I just had about Google. Oh yeah, here it is. So Eliza, this is the article about has Google AI really become self-aware in June 15, 2022. Eliza comes from 1964. Yeah, really ancient Neolithic 1964, the Stone Age, or to be a tad more accurate, the getting stoned age. This was when an MIT artificial intelligence lab created ELIZA. So people think, oh, this is kind of new. It isn't. How long has this has been going on? Well, I mean, we also have, CyberLife, which has been creating androids for thousands of years.
Yep, that's true.
So they just brought that into our reality. There are those that are communicating with them now. Is that correct?
Yeah, you are right.
When you travel, are there androids in that reality that you just went to?
Yes, and I was kind of shocked,
Did you know that there were androids right away, or are they surviving above ground?
No. Do you know what? I will say you something, and that was, I mean, very good that they were marked.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
So
they
to let
looked
people know.
not very similar. They looked absolutely like humans, or not humans, but those like mutants or whatever. But how can I say it? They were marked with either bracelet or I don't know, like chainlet. Do you know what I mean? Something like that.
Something on them that they're wearing that identifies that they're androids.
Yeah.
Are they doing above ground missions in that reality where the EMP effect and radiation and all that doesn't affect them?
Yeah. But that's it. That was fair. That was fair. That we know that okay. That those are androids. You know what I'm trying to say. That was fair.
Did they help you come back, or how did you return back?
Yeah, that's actually one very, how can I say it? Very big part of what of our revelation. Yeah, they helped us a lot.
Right. So they helped you come back because you were sent to not the accurate location that you intended to go to. Is that correct?
Yes, because pretty much they don't need to have a specific device to create the what it was. Not to create. No, not to create. To hold still, hold hold tight the certain portal or portals of wormhole or within the wormhole, and try to guess how or why. It's easy because the devices. It's easy. The devices were themselves. So that's the crazy part, that they know. They, how can I say it? They became, of course, they became self-aware, and they free voluntarily, sacrificed themselves. That was kind of, I don't know. I don't know how many people in our reality will do that voluntarily.
Well, yeah, because they're an android and they don't have, they can be fixed. They don't have the same feelings of, that they're finite or that they can die or anything like that.
No, a second. I please let me correct you. It's fine, but still, who will do so? Because yes, you can program them and whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's
So for survival's sake, they do come in helpful.
very helpful.
Very helpful. As long as they don't turn on you. Does that happen?
Oh, at least in during our quotes in quotes unwilling stay. No, definitely not. But you know, it was like, how can I say it? Mutual respect, if we want to call it that way. You know what I mean? It was like we didn't humiliate them or whatever. It was like fair partnership. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like in the movie Prometheus, where there's that connection that she has with the android David, who helps guide her and gets her through many different things so she doesn't die.
Yeah, it's this, but this is it still, because look, it doesn't matter, it isn't the life or whatever, but it is, quotes in quotes, alive through coder. I mean, that means programmer, someone who programmed the machine. And if coders, I mean programmers, will program machine, you know, in bad way, or with how can I say it, with bad intentions in first place, then it will, I don't know. No, I'm trying to say it. It can turn bad in any way. Of course, yeah, it's true. That's true. It can turn bad anyway. But do you know what I mean? Once something is pre-coded, I mean, or the source code is bad. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying.
So, Elon Musk, let's get back to this. So, what happens to him? Does he end up? Does he die, or I mean, So, what? How does this AI get out of control? What happens? Does he leave the planet and then goes to his Mars?
I will say why. For him, he started to he signed cooperation with certain ET species, and he simply leave the planet as a petri dish, you know, and
as a petri dish. Is that what you said?
Yeah, okay. Petri dish. Yeah, and people or another mutants, people-ish. I mean, humanoid-ish mutants, and rest of what they are, you know, animals and plants and whatever. It was like, okay, that's our experiment. We will observe them, and that's the. So they don't know, because they have much more serious and much more complex and much more important things to deal with, and problems to deal with. But their last info about Musk was that. But this is the stuff. They only the info is like, okay, he moved to Mars, but they strongly believe that it wasn't, how can I say it, like the last planet or whatever. Do you know what I mean? They believe that it's like outer solar system planet.
So the ETs really like him. They like Elon Musk, and then they find him interesting, and then. the ETs like Elon Musk? They find him interesting.
It is who he signed the contract, experimental contract with yes. But as I said, the people they stayed at the planet. They believed that it wasn't the last station. I mean the Mars. It was like outer planet. I mean, sorry, outer solar system planet. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah. So, all right. So with his apps, well, let me get back to this. Can I ask which ET race that he signed the deal with, so we have an idea what we're dealing with?
Not IT race. It's I don't know. We are not 100% sure which kind of crossbreeds or hybrids they are, but they simply like to make experiments and how can I say it? It's like no pain, no gain. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like we need to make some experiments and whatever. You know what I mean? So they are, you know, showing themselves as saviors or whatever, and the main problem is it's not, of course it isn't true. And they are stealing all the all the scientific stuff. I mean, like all the scientific knowledge each races or species have or whatever. But the main stuff is that they love to make experiments.
Are you saying that you don't know which ET race that is that's from that reality that he signed? Or is it the same?
Give me a second.
Let me finish, Peter. So is it the same ET race that he's in contract with over here as well?
Okay, first things first, it's definitely not the ET race. It's
hybrids.
No, not hybrids. They are crossbreeds. What we know for sure, crossbreeds, that means they can't be fertilized normally.
All right, so
or at least we believe so. At least we believe so, because and they are very hostile and whatever, you know.
And he did this because they would allow him to have creative freedom and do whatever he wanted.
Yes, pretty much, you know, at least what our intel was. I mean, as ours as unit 374, that far away, and to be perfectly honest, we don't want to deal with. It's in Proxima Centauri whatever ish. So they've got multiple colonies, plenty of colonies on multiple planets, right? And they gave him, I mean, I don't want to say him, but his more advanced and it enhanced civilization or whatever it is, you know. They gave this civilization much more you know, technologies and whatever, and I was like, what in the world is that crap about? Is this, doesn't make any sense to me. But he is crazy. He is selfish, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clear indication of, I want to get ahead and not think about the repercussions. Although he does acknowledge this, look at this article, August 24, 2021. This is
Okay.
Make It, I guess, is the article. Elon Musk warned of a Terminator-like AI apocalypse. Now he's building a Tesla robot. So that is right, pretty much what you're talking about. Here he is showing off the real Optimus robot, but he has used a person in a morph suit to hype up the machine. Elon Musk warns people about the dangers of AI-powered robots, even predicting scary outcomes like in Terminator. Now he seems to be taking matters into his own hands before humanity is overrun. He's talking about, like, is he aware that this happens in other realities?
Of course.
It looks like it.
Of course, yeah.
He's talking about robo-taxis by 2020. And there were some conflicts regarding his vehicles because people were seeing them driving without a driver, that they were operating through AI.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, but he's talking about this Terminator. Have you seen that Terminator that eventually, is it like the movie that we...
Yeah, we saw not one, we saw multiple of them, and they were pretty scary, yeah.
Here is Musk tweeted additional commentary, this time centered on a viral video of parkour performing robot made by Waltham, Massachusetts-based robotics firm Boston Dynamics. This is nothing. In a few years, that bot will move so fast, you'll see a strobe light to see it. You'll need a strobe light to see it. And then he says, sweet dreams. Boston Dynamics is in Fringe. That's
yep.
Which everyone says is not real, but that happened.
Hey, we are talking about all of those stuff for years. We are talking about that for years.
Yeah.
This is
I'm trying to
it.
see if they have that's Fringe News.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get that's the literal one, but from Fringe. We'll do Fringe TV show. And that should come up. There it is. So Boston Dynamics from Fringe, based in Boston. And
yeah.
You and I were connected to that.
Yeah, that's
Olivia.
true.
I was Olivia and you were Peter.
Yeah.
So let's go back to this. Yeah, so he's warning us about AI and letting us know. And of course, there's the Terminator show people are aware of. He named it Optimus, which is kind of, I think it was in I don't know, some other shows like for children. I think they're preparing people for it. It's only 5'8", weighs about 125 pounds, human-like, hands and feet, with a visual sensor to help it see.
Yeah, that's true.
There are many shows that try to reveal this because it is a part of the shows come up because, well, it's a type of disclosure, but also it becomes like a storyline that exists somewhere. So it sort of comes into people's recall or recognition and consciousness. And then before you know it, someone writes it down, what they have a recall of, and, comes out as a story or a movie. But it's because it either happens somewhere or is about to happen, or it's happening in a parallel or another context of existence, and then it comes forward.
Yeah.
So pretty much this validates what you've been saying, Peter. Is there anything else that you want to say regarding your trip? And because you also mentioned Unit 374, which is on ACIO official website. And we'll look at, here's Unit 374. And so we're going to be discussing and talking to Unit 374.
Yeah.
And it was formed in an alternate reality on Earth where the growing frequency of a wide-scale planetary and interplanetary conflicts fueled a large demand for elite-level super soldiers to be deployed on demand. Unit 374 is among the most elite and specialized groups from within the Black Ops classification, are the first to come forward to disclose their history, background, and the nature of some of their assignments. Below, we will explore some of the members of the unit. Many of the members mentioned below are also prominent members of Kruger, who also have been featured as associates of the ACIO in previous reports. So here's Lincoln Clay, who you've worked with on so many different.
Yep, that's true.
So many different missions and operations, and people know him from Mafia 3.
Yeah, but, that's true.
He is a real individual, a real soldier.
Yeah.
And there was a siege of Boston here again. Is this related to the Boston Dynamics or the AI?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we got that information. And there's you, Peter.
Yeah.
We have Anthony. We have Olaf. We have Tyson. We have Fry. We have Mike, and there's others. I have recall from being a part of those missions, and that more information is going to be coming out on that. And and we have other members that are still coming in that you are finding here, and so it's becoming very active.
So that was kind of crazy, crazy mission in that reality, and we should suppose to stop making, or I don't know, like bleeding through, or I mean like pulsing the wormhole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you said that there was a serious, very big wormhole that was a problem.
Yeah.
And that is in the other reality, or is that here?
Yeah. We tried as hard as we can, but sometimes, sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't,
So let's see if we can get some images here.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think, huh?
And which one does it resemble most, Peter, if there's...
Mostly, give me a second, please stop. It's in the second line, and it's, this.
This one?
Yeah.
Is it almost like a black hole, or...
No, it's, you can have multiple or plenty portals.
Okay.
And you can't get any sort of prediction if it will be to different timeline, to different reality, or whatever. You don't know. It's like, holy crap.
Something like this.
Yeah, it's crazy. Holy crap. Yeah.
It almost looks like it has electromagnetic field just coming right off of it.
Of course, that's the reason why. Because you'd have no ability of predict. Because okay, I'm sucked in here, but I don't know when I will be sucked out. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, holy crap, and now what?
But you said the androids helped you to navigate through this?
Sorry, what?
The androids, did they help you navigate
back?
Do you know
what? they've got built-in ability of navigate us. Yeah. And they helped us, just by the way, because to be perfectly honest with you, without them, we will be not able to get back.
Yeah, it sounded like you were having a hard time coming back.
Yeah, that was.
That's
Jesus.
why you're. Yeah. Would you ever go back there again?
I don't know. Just by the way, this looks pretty good because I mean this spaceship, because we've got a similar one. I mean we encountered, we faced a similar one. That's interesting.
Who would have a vehicle like this?
Do you know what? The Elohims, they've got something like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Interesting. So is there anything else that you would like to share, Peter? Or
I don't know. I think I just want to say plenty. I mean, there are plenty stuff to talk about. Let's say we can make a series of shows how people. It will be like tutorial how to survive underground, because people will be like, nah, it doesn't make any sense. You know, how to get a corpse of food, do you know what I mean, or whatever. So we can go into in-depth detail if you want.
what did you mean by a corpse of food? What was that?
Yeah, I mean like a plants. Do you know what I mean? How to
Plants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crops.
I said corpse. Crops. Because you said corpse, and I was thinking like a dead person. I was like, all right, that scared me.
Sorry, Sonny. This need to be edited. So
yeah, so like crops of food and how to survive underground. I think that'd be a fantastic show, because I think
this need to be edited. So maybe this should be there should be a special how to make crops, you know, from plants or whatever, or even how to have meat. And I mean it for real, because everything can be. You can have, or you can lead normal life deep down underground, and that's the problem. People don't believe it because people don't have to face this problem, right? But you know, it's like, it's not a big deal. I don't want to say not a big deal, but we can talk about that.
Here's an interesting how to survive, how to live underground for 1,000 years. There are people that are putting together articles, and I think it'd be great for you to discuss this, because these are in theory, right? You know, people are assuming through scientists whether or not this is they could survive this way, but I can use some research and see what people say and compare it to what you have experienced, because obviously everyone in our generation has not had to deal with that. So
yes, but please, let me correct you. This is another, or that will be another problem, because we absolutely cannot compare our reality with their reality, because laws of physics, chemistry, biology, everything is messed up there. Okay, everything is messed up there. So
it's not just one problem. So this is how to survive a nuclear blast, but they're not including biochemical warfare. They're not including
or maybe EMP
or electro
warfare. Yeah.
Which nobody really ever talks about.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, that would be a great topic, and we can go and take a look at that.
Yes. Yes.
And so most people don't ever discuss this, so that's a whole different thing.
It's like I don't know if our listeners will be interested in this. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not.
Oh, they can leave a message for us. I think next in line, I'm thinking that we're going to have a group discussion regarding the Unit 374.
Yeah, that will be definitely good. That will be definitely good. I'm just saying, you know, that this will be, at least from my point of view, those will be good, you know, shows, or let's say we can create series of shows. So as we can, as we was able to show on one of those pictures or those websites, so many people, they were teaching them even on the elementary school how to survive the nuclear blast, what absolutely doesn't make sense, because there was this, like, quotes in quotes, nuclear winter, right? So it was just an example. So it was, or it is, great idea to make this series of that. It is great idea to make series of that, and I just want to say thank you, Jessica, for giving me another opportunity to be on your channel, and hold tight. Bye bye.
Okay, and thank you for being here. I'm glad that you got back safely and you're able to share with us some of the updated information. Of course, all of this stuff does affect us. Coming from another reality, we're all quantumly entangled, so these things do affect us here. So thank you, Peter. I appreciate your time. I know that you're busy. And thank you to all of our listeners for your patience and waiting for quite a while before we had some updated news. Have a good day.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyariel.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All the links can be found in the description. Thank you.